Hello everybody and welcome back to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I spent all morning working on my cards for today. I got back late last night from Norway, and that is a special thank you to all of you. I had the best time ever, and I'm inspired and ready to share some more great stuff with you. I'm sorry it's 4 o'clock today, but I have to watch the Celtics tonight, and we have plans in a little while. And it took me a while to get my cards done. So that's why we're starting later, but earlier, if that makes sense. Please feel free to watch the replay. I hope you do, and I hope you comment. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to hear where you're from. Happy Memorial Day to all of you. I hope you have plans that include being outside if your day is as beautiful as mine. It's about 67 degrees and just gorgeous, gorgeous weather. My dogs have been out twice with me today and they've had the time of their lives. So anyway, I want to know where you're from. Let me know. Today we are going to talk about gone fishing, and I've made 4 cards. We are going to do 4 cards for this online class to go. All you have to do to get this class is place a $35 order using my host code, which I don't have for you. I'm going to share it in the comments, so you'll see it. But to get this club in the mail, this card class in the mail, not the club, that's coming later this week that you'll hear about that. But to get this class, online class to go, all you have to do is place a $35 order before tax and shipping, and I will send it to you. Place a $50 order and you'll get an embellishment as well. If your order is over $150, I will still send you the card class, but please take the host benefits for yourself. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you. You're probably still driving. I hope you are almost to your new destination. Judy is moving today to Texas. So I call her Texas Trudy because every time I text her, it comes across as Trudy rather than Judy. Anyway, let's flip the camera down so you can see some of the designer paper that goes with the Gone Fishing stamp set. I don't know if I have all the dies here. It looks like I don't, but I have the dies that I need. And I have the Gone Fishing stamp set. So we have the Let's Go Fishing designer paper. It's 12 by 12 paper. Beautiful paper. There's a couple of them that I can't figure out which side I would rather do. But anyway, so I'm going to flip you down so I can see your comments and we can get going on this class. So once again, I'll share the host code with you so you can get this class to go in your mailbox. Here is the designer paper. Isn't it just so beautiful? This is probably my favorite. On the other side is a world map, and I love the crumb cake. I would love to do something with this, but I decided to use this side, and you're going to love the card that I decided to do. I actually have to say that this card was inspired by Celine. I saw a card that she made, turning this into a Christmas card. You wait, I'm going to show you. It's lovely. It's not the same card as hers. It was just inspired by her. I'm glad you are watching, Judy. Just keep your eyes on the road if you're driving. This is a beautiful sheet of all these colorful lures. I know a tiny bit about fishing, and that's about it. I know you have a hook, I know you have a pole, and I know you have lures, and I know the goal is to catch fish. Look at these beautiful blue fish, Misty Moonlight and Boho Blue, I would say. Could even be Night of Navy, but lots and lots and lots of fish. The other side is this beautiful pattern. Almost looks like jeans, doesn't it? Like a denim pattern. Lots that can be done with that. I can even see doing this with the daisies. So just because you don't fish does not mean you shouldn't get this paper. This is another one that I can see using with the daisies, the Cheerful Daisies stamp set. Pebble Path with vanilla on the back. On the front, or on the back in this case, is the Wild Wheat with some fishing rods. Here's some more Pebbled Path. Nice diagonal stripe. Great for masculine designs. Hi, Rose. I'm so glad you're joining today. I said hi to Jeanette for you. More lures and on a mossy meadow background. Beautiful. This is my favorite if I'm going to stick to fish. Lots that you can do. There is one die that will cut out one of these fish, but you can fussy cut as many of these fish as you want. They're so colorful, they're so fun. And on the back is a nice gingham masculine pattern. So that is the Let's Go Fishing 12 by 12 paper. Let me move that out of the way and show you my first card. So my first card, and once again, I want to hear where you're watching me from. I hope you're enjoying the weather. Here is the first card. Oh, better stand up so I can see what I'm doing. I'm glad to see that my reach goes all the way to Texas and California. Look at how fun this paper is. Even though this paper is vanilla, I decided it needed some brightening. And you may recognize this from my Circle of Wishes card class a couple of weeks ago. I used a similar pattern. So that's the card we're going to make first. Nice and easy. So let's start. Let me get all my supplies out. I have lots of stuff in the way, so we'll see how this is going to work. I think I have everything. Then I get to the end and I realize, nope, don't nearly have everything. So this is a Misty Moonlight card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. Next, I have a piece of basic white cardstock. This is my matte layer. It's my favorite measurement to lay on top of the card front, 4 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to see if any of this, I might have to get some new glue because I forgot to check if this glue works or not. So we're going to see. What we're going to do first is add, yep, I thought so. Hang on one second. Because I sell adhesive in my class, I always have new things of glue handy. So never fear if you come to my classes and you run out of adhesive, I've got you covered. Okay, first I'm going to put this 4 by 5 1/4 inch basic white here on my card front. Nice and easy. I have already embossed this. This is one of our basics embossing folders. This is my favorite one. It's like a crosshatch. I really, really love this one. I've embossed it. It's 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. Then I have my 1.5 inches by 5 inch basic white. And I have my fish, my blue fish. It's a 1 1/4 inches by 5 inches. I could use the other side, but we're talking about fishing, so I kind of have to use the fish. I'm going to center that right here on my strip, just like that. And then the next thing I want to do, especially if I have my ribbon here, oh, I do. Next, I'm going to add this about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch from the left side. You could also put it on the right side, your prerogative, whatever you want to do. Just make sure your fish are headed in the right direction. Okay, I have to sit down for this, so hopefully I am still on camera. I'm going to tie my ribbon. This is the Night of Navy bordered ribbon, and I've already told you it's not my favorite ribbon because it's not shiny enough. I feel like if you're going to have a Night of Navy ribbon, boy, could you do it up nicely, right? But for a masculine card, it's perfect. I'm just going to tie a simple knot. And hopefully I'm going to do it tight enough. That's all I did. Just a simple knot. Tied right around the 2 layers, or 3 layers, I should say. And I'm going to cut it with my paper snips. Now, ideally, I would have some ribbon scissors here because my paper snips are not always the most reliable at cutting ribbon. But we're going to try it anyway. Okay. Well, Judy, I'm glad I'm giving you some entertainment while you're driving. If it was 5 o'clock, maybe you'd be, 5 o'clock Eastern time, maybe you'd be getting dinner or something. Okay, I'm going to add this on right here. Oh, and hi to Jim. We met Jim in person this weekend, Bob and I just got back from our Norway trip, and of course our whole group of girls all got together with the husbands and some family members. Cindy brought her son and daughter. It was lovely to meet everybody. Okay, next I am going to punch my decorative circle. This is a decorative circle punch. I was thinking I could have done the handmade tag, but you know what? The handmade tag was a little bit too frilly, a little bit too much for a guy. So that's why I decided this. I'm going to keep that basic white scrap out for a second. I'm going to stamp Happy Retirement, and I'm going to use the Night of Navy ink. So here we go. Because this is a photopolymer, I should be doing it on a Stampin' Pad. Oh, I have one here if I ever needed it. But the other thing I like to do, and I've always said this, I like to run my finger underneath as I lift it up, because I know that our ink pads are a little bit sticky, so I've got a little bit of time. Oh, I'm not going to put that away yet. I'm actually going to stamp 2 lures. One of them is a fish. And on this one, I did it in boho blue. I don't like it. I just don't like it in boho blue. So we're doing both of them in navy. And you can see it's a lure because it's got the hook at the end. I'm going to die cut that in just a second. Then I've got another one with this feather. Probably very enticing to fish, I'm thinking. I have no idea. What is a fish like? Who knows? I should know because I'm a Pisces, but I have no idea what fish like. Okay, let me put away my Night of Navy ink before I get that all over my beautiful fingernails that I got done just for the trip. I'm going to move this out of my way. And someplace in here, I have my magical stash of Gone Fishing dies. These are all the ones that I'm going to need for today. So, oh, that metallic dish is mighty powerful. It actually just sucked up my snips, but we're okay now. Okay, I'm going to, oh, you know what? I'm going to use my boho blue mini boss to do the cutting. So I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller, just so it fits in the smaller mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've got mine right here, all ready to go. Don't I love the blue? Here are my plates. I've got the bottom plate, and then I've got 2 clear plates, which I'm going to sandwich the paper and dies in between. Let's see if I can do it at the same time. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of centering this. When I finish, I'm actually going to put one Post-it over both of them if I can, so that I can do it both at the same time. Save myself a little bit of time. There we go for that. I'm going to be doing this all day. One's going to be ready, other one's going to move. Well, if it moves, you know that it's supposed to be perfect, but not everybody does it perfectly every time. Let's see if I can get this. I think we're pretty close. I'm going to wing it. Nothing like winging it. So I got my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is shaking the table because it's just a little card table. Move that out of the way. I'm going to need that again in a little while. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's not perfectly cut, but it's not terrible either. And I do want to tell you one thing that I decided was this lure, this long one right here. To me, that looks like punctuation. It looks like an underline or almost like an exclamation point underneath. That's why I decided to lay it that way. I'm just going to glue that straight down. We're not popping anything up. There we go. And then I've got another one. Actually, before I do that, what I am going to do is pop up my circle. So hopefully I'm in camera right there. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to pop up my circle. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back, or many. The more dimensionals, the more you love the person, is what I've been told. And there we go. See that little one right there, the cover? Don't worry about that if you don't get it out. It's not a big deal. Nobody's going to know it's there, as long as most of yours are sticking. There we go. And then I'm going to take this last lure, and I'm only going to add the dimensional to the top because I'm going to overlap it over the paper, and I don't want it to stick up that much more. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the bottom, a little bit of glue. And this to the top, and voila, there we go. Now, it's not quite finished because it definitely needs a little bit of embellishment, because everything needs a little bit of bling. I have my Take Your Pick tool, and these here are the new 4-pack of the Tinsel Gems. There's a 3-pack and the 4-pack, and I didn't realize there were 2 different sets. So and they're different colors as well. So don't miss out on the other one. So this is the 4-pack. And I decided this is probably Azure Afternoon, but I don't care because I'm using it with the Misty Moonlight, and I think it works beautifully. Oh, where did my, oh, here. Everybody has a little bit different that they do. I like to use the sticky end, the putty end, to kind of push my gems over. There we go. I push my gems over, and the gems are still sticking to the putty, and I can move it and put it right where I want. So there you go. Card number 1. So easy. Now, you may not like all of these things, but Happy Retirement is a great card for a guy who is deciding to take his life in a different direction. I don't think Judy would appreciate this card, even though she just retired. I don't think she's a fishing person. But anyway, card number 1. Let's move it out of the way, and let's move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is nice and easy. I am here using Mossy Meadow card base. Mossy Meadow is still one of our colors that is part of the neutral family. And what I'm going to do, oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the vanilla. I could put it on white, but I have a feeling I'd like it on vanilla. Hold that thought for just a second. Oh, maybe I didn't. You know what I did? Okay, I know what I did. I don't need a base because I'm going to have a whole layer of crumb cake. So here's my Big Boss. You need the Big Boss for the bigger projects, the wider projects. Most of our embossing folders will only fit in the Big Boss. So your Little Boss is great to have for your little projects and to take on the go like a purse, but you need the Big Boss. This is one of our new folders. It's called Braided Rope. And what I'm going to do is just put my paper in about halfway. And I'm eyeballing it. It doesn't really matter if it's perfect or not. Except, actually, it does matter a tiny bit. Okay. I'm going to put it right to there. I'm going to stand up and look at this so that I know where I'm going to put it. You kind of want your rows to be straight. That's all I can say. So put it in that way. And with this, I don't need the shim on top of my base platform. You can either use the blue, which was released a couple years ago, or the gray one is the same size. You don't need the shim when you've got your heavier 3D embossing folders. And the Braided Rope is one of those. Hi, Marilyn. Marilyn is my upline. And thank you, Marilyn. It was her daughter's bridal shower this weekend. So I'm excited to hear about that. Okay, I'm not going to need this anymore. The big. I do have a mess going at my feet, but all I'm going to do is, so this is 4 by 5 1/4 again. All I'm going to do is add some designer paper, and I'm pretty sure I just cut this 2 3/4. Yep, 2 3/4 by 4 inches, and I'm just going to glue that to the bottom. You may, if you don't like the fish, want to use this gingham pattern. It's also beautiful. You could definitely use either one. So all I'm going to do to that is add that 2 3/4 inches by 4 inch piece. Now, I did it a little bit different. Look at this. And I meant to pay attention. I decided to put it at the top with this card. And, well, now I got it at the bottom. So we're going to switch it up and it's going to be fine. You can do whatever you decide. And because you're going to want to have this bundle, you can do them 1 of each if you want, or 5 of each. I am, once again, this ribbon here is, I don't remember. I want to say it's the Crumb Cake ribbon that is part of the Real Red ribbon pack. Remember the combo pack that was in the mini catalog this spring? Was perfect for Valentine's Day. I didn't use a lot of this. Well, it's perfect for this kind of card. So that's what we're going to do. I am trying to do a square knot without messing it up too much. What I want it to do is kind of lay flat, and that did not go very well, but that's okay because who cares? I can move it around if I wanted to. If my ribbon wasn't tight enough, sometimes what I do is I take a little bit of washi tape. I prefer washi tape over Scotch tape just because with the washi tape, it works with the acid-free. It protects your cards and designer paper and your photos. So I kind of feel like the washi tape's a little bit safer to use on the cards. Well, it's not my most perfect knot by any means, but that's okay. I'm going to just add this to my Mossy Meadow card base. And because I'm sitting down and trying to do this, I may be missing some of your comments, and I apologize. I will go back and respond to all of them. So I still want to hear where you're from, what you're doing today for Memorial Day. I haven't forgotten the real meaning for Memorial Day. I'm very thankful and grateful for all those that have fought for me to give me freedom. Because it's not my cup of tea, but for some people, they love to do that. They love to fight, but I realize that many have given their lives, and I'm very grateful for that. I've already die cut this label. Now this label is from He's All That. It's from the dies that goes with the He's All That stamp set. This is probably my favorite die right now. I use it for everything. Just like Frank's hot sauce, right? I use this die for everything. I have the Mossy Meadow ink pad, and I inked it up today, so it's really wet, and I'm probably going to get it all over me. If you didn't want to use Mossy Meadow, I could actually use maybe even some, let's see, I could use definitely Memento. I could use Early Espresso, any color you wanted to. I could probably use Night of Navy, but I'm going to stick with the Mossy Meadow just like I did. I'm going to stand up and stamp and hope for the best. So once again, I like to rub my finger over the bottom of it because I feel like that gives the best impression. And let's close this before I get it all over me. Well, this one I did the rope at the bottom with the label. This one I did the fish at the bottom. I don't think I want to put that up. I think I am still going to put this here on the bottom over the fish. I'm going to pop them up a little bit. Let me just put a couple of dimensionals on here. We'll pop them up. And yes, this is going to be kind of covering my fish, but I kind of liked it on the bottom. And I think because I don't want to make it so stark, I'm going to kind of position it off to the side. Just like that. Perfect. And then once again, I don't feel like these green gems work. I think these are more shaded spruce. So we are going to use the yellow ones because that's pretty close. It's probably more like, I don't know, maybe it's more like lemon lolly, which would be a little bit odd, but that's okay. I'll do 3 gems. I used one down here. I like to kind of make like an, what would it be called? Like an obtuse triangle. Not perfect, not equilateral, not the perfect triangle, but I think that I want it to look not perfect. That I do know. And I think I shouldn't have moved it because now it doesn't want to stick. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think that's where the glue dot was. Judy, you'll have to tell me. Judy also taught math years ago, so she can probably tell me what kind of triangle it is. But I know it's not an isosceles. But anyway, we're not doing math here today by any means. Here's my second card. Isn't that lovely? When you get your card kit in the mail, when you place your $35 order, I am going to die cut everything that is not part of this bundle, which means I can't die cut the lures. You're going to have to do that. But these labels, I'm going to do that for you. Anything that gets punched or die cut that's not part of the bundle, I will do for you. You definitely are going to want this bundle. Here's my card number 3. So glad that you're my dad. I had you at obtuse. I hope that was right, Judy. I have no idea. I don't know math. Or especially, I should say, it's been about 40-something years ago since I was, 40 years this year. Anyway, I know you guys thought I was 25. Here we have this beautiful card. I love these colorful lures. This is the new Pecan Pie card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I have a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of very vanilla cardstock. And what I'm going to do is attach that to my card base. Did I do 4 by 5.25? Yes, I did. Okay, let me attach that to my card base real quick. This is a really simple card too. The only thing I'm stamping is my sentiment and my lures. I decided, because of the tag, I couldn't make it look good with my tag up and down. I just don't know why, it just didn't. So I decided to do my card landscape mode, landscape position. I have here a 3 3/4 inches by 5 inch piece of the designer paper. And what I'm going to do is take my paper trimmer, which is right down here under all of my stuff, and I'm going to cut this 3 3/4 inches by 5 inch piece of designer paper at, I think I cut it at 2 3/4, which is probably pretty close to half. But what I'm going to do is flip one side. And because you have to be careful if your paper has a direction, mine doesn't have a direction. I wanted more of mine to be the lures and the other one not so much to be this pattern. So what I'm going to do is just glue this right on. So let me put the glue. Can you tell I love my glue? I love my glue. I was going to use some pecan pie ribbon, and I almost did, but then I also realized I needed some twine for my tag. Then I thought, boy, that's an awful lot of ribbon. So we're just going to use a simple piece of cardstock of another color, which you'll see in just a second. You've already seen, but okay, so this is my 2 3/4 inches by 3 3/4, which means that this is my 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 inch piece. So 3 3/4 inches by 5, and I cut that on the long side at 2 3/4, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to add the adhesive to this, and we're going to glue that right down. I want the sides to match, but it doesn't really matter too much as long as it's equal on the top, bottom, and right side. Because what I'm going to do is take my piece of cardstock. This is 3/4 inches by 4 inches. I could have embossed it. I could have done anything, but this is Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to lay that and adhere that right across the seam. Then I don't have to worry too much about if I'm straight or not. So right there across the seam, just like that. And then what I'm going to do, I have my tag that I've already die cut. This is the largest plain tag. There's also one that's a little bit more scalloped, a little bit more decorative. This is the plain one. This is the one I usually go to. What I'm going to do is stamp "So Glad That You're My Dad." Now, if you're coming to class, you can use other sentiments. You can take it home and stamp it with other sentiments that you have at home. If you are not buying the bundle, then of course you're going to want to use your own sentiments, but not everybody has a dad. I realize that, but I'm very blessed and I still do. Not that my dad fishes. My dad never fished. He was always too busy on the farm. But anyway, he would still appreciate this card, whether he was fishing or not. Here I have a scrap of Very Vanilla. Now, I'm going to stamp twice the lure, the same lure. One is going to be stamped with this Lemon Lime Twist, and one is going to be stamped with the Calypso Coral. I decided that these were kind of, well, I know the green isn't in there. It's definitely more muted. It's more Mossy Meadow or Old Olive, but we don't have a twine for that. And I loved it with this bright twine, especially with the Calypso Coral. So this is the In Color twine from, this is actually Parakeet Party from last year. We're going to stamp this thing twice. This lure, I've decided the easiest way, really, here, I'm going to stamp it. Let's see how this is going to work. So first I'm going to stamp it the outside, and then I will stamp, okay, let's use the Lemon Lime Twist first. I'm going to move this Pecan Pie out of the way. That was Pecan Pie that I used. I'm going to have to clean between. So here's my chamois all ready to go. What I decided to do with this one, I'm going to try stamping inside. And all you have to do, I just kind of slowly lower it. Lower, lower, lower. And you can kind of, even as you're lowering, even if your hands shake, you can kind of get it pretty close to the center. So there we go. That's number one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to show you, if you decide instead what you'd like to do is do, whoa, not sure what that was. I'll find out later. This one I'm going to stamp with my Calypso Coral. The inside, the solid first. So there we go. And then I'm going to show you that even with that, I can take my outline in Pecan Pie, and that one I can also, maybe not as easily, but I can also kind of, did you see how I kind of moved? I kind of put down one side, and then I kind of used it, kind of moved it a little bit before I settled down the top. You can do that with your two-step stamps. You've got a little bit of leeway, I feel like. Just be careful that you're not rocking it, because if you're rocking it, guys, it's going to be a mess. And then you're going to get those halos around your stamps. So I don't know if that was the best tip to give you, but that's what works for me. I feel like it worked better to do the solid inside after I did the lure, but you're going to see with my next card, the one that was inspired by Celine, that I didn't do it that way. Okay, I need my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and I'm going to have to do this twice because there's only one die here. Where are my, here's my platform and my two plates. And my dies are My dies are right here. Okay, here it is. That's why I have my plate with the magnetic bowl, because otherwise, guys, my dies would get thrown away. That's how much I have to be careful with them. Now, I know you can't see, but it really is pretty easy. If you look at this, these two ends right there, it's really pretty easy to line up your tip and those hooks on your die. So like I said, I know you can't see, but just trust me that it's really easy to die cut. I've got my top plate, and I'm really taking a chance and not using a Post-it or washi tape or anything, and just hoping this is going to turn out. You're going to love my fourth card, so don't go anywhere, guys. And by all means, watch the replay if you don't have time to stay for the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to cut one more. I bet Jim didn't know I could talk so much. I'm not usually really a talker. But, okay, cutting it out. There you see, I've die cut it. Let me get rid of the die, move that out of the way. Let me move my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out of the way. And what I'm going to do is just pop up these two lures. And because this one isn't cut as perfectly, I think I'm going to have that one kind of underneath. Nobody's going to know. And if anybody's judging, they're not, I don't know if they're worthy of your cards if they're judging if it's straight or not. It's a different thing if you're talking swaps with fellow demonstrators or whatever. But for people that you're sending these cards to, they're just going to love getting a handmade card. There we go. That's that. And then I have got two more things that I have to do for this. I'm going to very quickly tie a loop just like this. I love baker's twine. I really, really do. I'm glad that they have all these colors. Okay, so let me pull my loops a little bit tighter, straighten them out. Doesn't really matter. Let me pull this out a little bit more. You know, this afternoon it worked out perfectly. Tonight, not so much, but that's okay. Okay, cutting it, and then all I'm going to do is pop up this on my card. Inside, of course, you're going to have a very vanilla card layer, or a basic white, probably very vanilla for the most part, with most of these cards, just because it depends on what color I've used on my card. Here we go. Almost done. I gotta do another one. Needs another one there. Okay, I don't have to worry about taking all those layers off. I'm gonna do that. And voila, here is my card. Oh, I will fuss with that layer, but isn't that a great card? I love the colors on it. So it doesn't all have to be dark, even though this paper does tend to be more vanilla and a little bit darker. Let's show you the fourth card. This is my favorite card right now. It's a Christmas card. Isn't that the best? Look at this. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining us and watching me. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day. I had trouble with this sentiment. Good things come to those who wait. What in the world does that mean? Well, I don't know. But when it comes to Christmas, it can mean quite a bit, because I have to tell you, I did enjoy Christmas a lot more when I stopped pre-opening my gifts that my mom had gotten for me. I found all of her hiding spots and unwrapped them when I was young. I like surprises now. This is a real easy one to do. I decided to use this real pretty wave pattern. Now, this could be used for anything. To me, it looks like water, but to me, it's also a beautiful pattern. And so this fishing bob here is actually a Christmas ornament. Isn't that the best? Okay, so let me show you how I did that. I have a basic white cardstock layer, 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, on top of a layer that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, which means on each side only has about a little bit more than about a 1/16 of an inch. So it's a really tight layer. I'm going to attach my basic white down to the smoky slate layer. If I had had silver, I'm telling you, I would have done something with silver. But we don't have a silver foil right now that I can tell. I was thinking maybe the Pebbled Path Luster paper might be close. Oh, move that just, there we go. We're all good. Now what I'm going to do, and I should have waited to do this because you never know how I'm going to stamp. Now what I need to do is stamp my sentiment. Good things come to those who wait. I decided we're not going to emboss it. We're going to do it in basic gray, close enough to silver, right? What I should do first, I have this layer. This is, yes, 1.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So it's not quite up to the 5. It's about a 1/4 inch less on each side than the 5 inches. Remember I told you about the cool map on the back? What I'm going to do is center this top, bottom, and right side, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is take my white glittered organdy ribbon, because I wanted something a little bit special and Christmassy, and we can do that with this ribbon. I'm going to just attach this over top. Let me just cut a little bit of a length, enough so I can tape down both sides. And like I said, because I want my cards to last forever, I'm not going to do Scotch tape. I'm going to do a little bit of washi tape. And I've got some right here. Years ago, Stampin' Up! Sold this. And I was actually a little bit sad when they stopped. But I have a bag full. Trust me. I have a bag full. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then, of course, somebody asked me once on my videos what the different color codes mean on my stamp sets behind me. Blue, like this, usually means that it is a punch bundle. And if it had this Cajun Freeze orangey color, that meant it was a die bundle. I may have to switch that because all of a sudden, everything is die bundles. Everything. And I don't have that much more of that color tape left. What I'm going to do next is stamp my sentiment. So I've got my sentiment. Good things come to those who wait. Like I said, it's in basic gray. And I'm going to just center that right there. Stamp that. We've got 2 more steps to do. We are going to stamp our little bob. Now the bob, I decided, was easiest stamped with the Misty Moonlight first, the solid part first. And then I'm going to take the basic gray again and my outline stamp here and stamp around that. And that's just what I decided worked best. The problem is, though, you have to decide, hopefully that's pretty close to, oh, look at that, guys. That is perfect. This one actually is a little bit off. This one that I just did was perfect. Write that down in the history books. It usually works the other way around when I do my Facebook Lives. What I'm going to do is just die cut it again, one last time with the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. My Boho Blue Boss, you can only get that as a demonstrator. And I've got lots of openings on my team for anybody that wants to join me. Here's the bob die. I'm going to die cut that very quickly, hopefully straight. I think it moved a tiny bit. Ugh, I hate when it does that. But that's what I get for not putting a Post-it down. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Moved a tiny bit, but generally speaking, not too bad. What I'm going to do now is take my twine. This is the Gold and Silver Essentials twine. I am going to take the twine, and I'm doing a length here. I don't know if you can see that. What I'm going to do is take a dimensional and kind of put that right in place. So now that twine is going to be held in place. I'll do that again at the bottom. I don't want it to slide out. There we go. And what I'm going to do next is attach it to my, boy, this is how I craft, guys. This is the real me, messy. I'm gonna do that just like that. And what I'm going to do is attach this to the back with a tiny bit more washi tape. Just like that. Then I can cut it. And then what I will do is try to attach adhesive over top of that to keep it in place too. So, see, there you go. One more thing I want to do, I'm going to have my bow that I'm going to attach. Just like that. And because I don't want my bow to move on me, I am going to take my glue dots. Did I take the glue dots to the table? Well, I guess I did. I'm not sure where I put my glue dots. I had, oh, here they are, right where they belonged. I'm just going to cut my length, attach my glue dot bow, and voila, my card is going to be done. Just like that. I want the glue dot right behind the bow because I don't want that to come loose on me. Oh yeah, let's do one more thing. Let's just attach this to the card base. And you guys can be successful making these cards at home. Oh, this is a boho blue base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So you will get the full PDF when you spend the $35 and at least $35 and get the kit. So you can be successful also. And here are my 4 cards. This one as a Christmas one. If you don't want to do it as a Christmas one, you don't have to. You could make it a fishing bob. Use some linen thread or something instead. Here's my Father's Day one that I made. Remember, I did it 2 different ways. Braided rope at the top or bottom. So whatever you decide you want to do, you can do that. And I added the dots. Here's my tag. So glad that you're my dad. Is that in camera? Yes, it is. And here is the 4th card. Happy retirement. Aren't they great? I designed them today. I hope you loved this class. I hope you want to place an order and buy this bundle. It's the Gone Fishing bundle that you want. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the Memorial Day. And I will, when I put on the description, I will add the host code so you know how to place your order. And you have to use the host code or place at least a $35 order. And you can get this class in your mailbox. So let me flip this back and say, bye, everyone. Have a great rest of the Memorial Day. And yes, I had a fabulous trip to Norway. Can't wait to share some pictures with you. I was very blessed to have all of you behind me supporting me. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you next week. Bye.